As a beginner, you might be having multiple questions because just now you have completed Redux course and you want to master Redux, you want to make some projects using Redux, then now itself, why should you learn this Redux Toolkit? So in this, I will be showing you why Redux Toolkit. Then one by one, we are going to understand each and every concept related to Redux Toolkit. So first of all, in Redux, if you see, we have lot of boilerplate code. We have action types, we have action creators, reducers, and in each and every project, we need to repeat this same boilerplate code. So to avoid this problem, we will be using Redux Toolkit, which has a set of utilities that makes working with Redux much easier and reducing lot of boilerplate code. And also, developers had few concerns while writing code only with Redux. The first concern is that Redux requires too much boilerplate code, and I believe you have already seen this in Redux course. So for every state transition, we define action type constant and action object and action creator and use that in a switch statement inside reducer. And in large scale application, we will have lot of state transition and repeating this kind of pattern and boilerplate code will slowly start to annoy you. And the second concern is that a lot of other packages have to be installed while working with Redux. Granted, in simple state transition, we don't need any additional tool, but for async action, we need to install Redux Thunk library. Only then we will be able to perform asynchronous operation in Redux. So keeping these concerns in mind, there was a need to improve the developer experience for Redux. And that is what resulted in the creation of Redux Toolkit library. And here I will be showing you some of the reasons why Redux Toolkit is preferred over traditional Redux. First reason, it has simplified configuration. Redux Toolkit includes helper functions like configure store, which will automatically set up the store with good defaults like middleware and DevTools support, saving you from writing repetitive boilerplate code. Second reason, built-in best practices. Redux Toolkit follows best practices, so you are less likely to make mistake. It encourages an opinionated structure for your Redux code, helping maintain a cleaner and more maintainable code base. Third reason, less boilerplate with create slice method. In traditional way, Redux requires separate action creators, constants and reducers. But with create slice, Redux Toolkit combines this into one single place. Then fourth reason, built-in middleware for asynchronous logic. So Redux Toolkit includes create async thunk function, which is going to simplify handling async actions, making code easier to read and write while managing loading states and error handling. So we are going to see how to perform asynchronous operation using Redux Toolkit. And if you see how this will be working, then you are going to blown up and you will be surprised to see how less code is required to perform asynchronous operation using Redux Toolkit. Then fifth reason, immer for immutability. Redux Toolkit uses immer under the hood, so you can write mutating code in reducers without actually mutating the state. And in our Redux course, we have already understood what is immer and what is the purpose of using this immer library. So using immer makes our reducers more concise and easier to understand. And last and final reason is enhanced performance. So Redux Toolkit has performance optimization out of the box, meaning you will be having less issues with larger or complex state management as your app grows. So in short, Redux Toolkit makes Redux easier to use and maintain by reducing setup complexity, improving readability, and following best practices automatically. Now, seeing all this might be you are satisfied, but still you are not convinced. You might be thinking Redux is great, and using Redux, we can perform all the state management, and let it be, even if we are having lot of boilerplate code, Redux is easier to understand, and we can write the code and we can build complex application. If you are thinking in that way, then let me tell you, you are right. Why? Because if you want to work with older code bases, then you should be having solid understanding of Redux. But in modern application, you should be aware of Redux Toolkit. You should upgrade your knowledge because Redux is good, but along with that, we are having few disadvantages of using Redux. First reason, configuring Redux in an app seems very complicated as a beginner. Second, in addition to Redux, a lot of other packages have to be installed to get Redux to do something useful. Second, in addition to Redux, a lot of other packages have to be installed in Redux. If you want to perform asynchronous operation, then for that you should be installing some packages, and if you want to mutate the state, then for that also you should be installing additional package. And third, Redux requires too much boilerplate code as I have mentioned already. So for this, as a solution to all this problem, Redux Toolkit was created, and this serves as an abstraction over Redux. So it is very important. First, you should learn Redux. Only then you should be proceeding with Redux Toolkit, because Redux Toolkit is built on top of Redux. So Redux Toolkit is going to hide all the difficult parts, ensuring you will be having a good developer experience.